If you're thinking, I've heard that China has a new privacy law, but don't have time to read the whole thing, what do I need to know? Aleada is here to answer your questions. In this video, we present a Q&A style summary of the key points of China's new privacy law, Personal Information Protection Law, also known as PIPL. Does PIPL apply to my organization? If your organization operates in China or processes the personal information of individuals in China, then PIPL likely applies to your organization. How is PIPL different from the GDPR? PIPL and GDPR have many similarities. For example, both are omnibus privacy laws that can apply even to entities outside of China or the EU. However, there are some major differences as well. One difference is that unlike the GDPR, PIPL does not allow legitimate interest as a means of lawful data processing. Instead, PIPL will cause organizations to rely more on consumer consent. Also different from the GDPR is that PIPL requires covered organizations to register with the Chinese government to notify them of the organization's data processing. Additionally, PIPL requires that if your organization processes a certain amount of personal data, the personal data must be stored within China's borders. At the time of creating this video, there has not yet been an exact amount of personal data specified to trigger this data localization requirement. Finally, fines under the PIPL can be one of the highest privacy fines yet, up to 5% of an organization's annual revenue. There are, of course, many other points that can be covered about PIPL. These are just some of the key points for a quick comparison to the GDPR. What do I need to do? We recommend that you start with creating a data inventory to determine what type of data your organization processes and where it's held, as well as data maps, so you can visually see the data flows from country to country. If you already have data inventory and data maps, great. In that case, you should easily see whether your organization processes the personal information of individuals in China. If you determine that PIPL applies to your organization based on your review of the data inventories and data maps, one of the first steps you should take is to register your organization with the Chinese government to let them know that you are collecting this data. You must also appoint someone to be in charge of leading your organization's privacy program as it relates to PIPL. If your organization is outside of China, then the appointed person must typically be within China's borders. Having a data inventory ready to go will also help you prepare for PIPL's data localization requirements. Once the Chinese government establishes the specific personal data threshold that will determine whether organizations must store data within China, you'll be able to quickly determine whether you must host data in China if you have a data inventory immediately available for reference. There are many more steps needed to become fully compliant with PIPL, but following these will provide your organization with a strong start towards compliance. What should I do if I have more questions? Reach out to Aleada. We are happy to help organizations with adjusting their practices to become compliant with PIPL.